The market is volatile. The stocks keep going down. Then boom, we hit new highs. Everything is different now, but you don't gotta chase. Don't panic, don't stress. Time to realign, plan it out, invest. It's the First Fruits Podcast. We elevating with the First Fruits Podcast. No time for waiting, time to grow, give back, reinvest like that. Everything you need to know, the First Fruits Podcast. Let's go.
Welcome to another episode of the First Fruit Stock Club. Man, absolutely outstanding, man. Another great week. I'm glad to be here. There's no day is promised to us, so I'm always have appreciation for to come and come to the show and provide value to you, right? So, and I definitely appreciate, you guys giving me a few moments of your time, right? So look, the topic of the show this week is March, stock repricing month. This is a stock repricing month, right? And what happens is once in a while, the market gives us fruitful opportunities to buy great companies at discounted prices, right? Great companies at discounted prices. And this is one of those times, right? And I'm not saying that if you don't invest, you should be doing this on your own. But if you're in a club or even my club, right, then you will see these are you're getting some great prices. You're getting some discount. They're not perfect, okay? And we still may have a little ways to go. But there's a strategy to the whole thing. So, and I understand, right? A lot of times people get scared, right? Often people buy high, right? And sell low. For example, people want to buy, they get into the hype, they buy at $1, right? And then they sell at 50 when $1 turns into 50 cents, which is crazy, but that's what happens a lot of times. A lot with people do when it comes to investing, right? Because you get in all the noise and all the hype and what's going on. But if you look at it and you understand the seasons of the market and you understand pricing and value, right? You would have probably seen that, we've had some issues. Now, I can't say that, I know all the time what's going to go on with the market. But if you look back a few episodes ago, I discussed here, hey, we're about to go to war. So going to war means that what I always discuss is that how we go, the market, it prices itself, right? It either, it compounds forward. That's when it's positive. And, because everybody wants their stocks to go up. All right. There's a few out there that want stocks to go down, but everybody in the long term wants their stocks to be more valuable than they paid for it today. They want to be more valuable tomorrow. All right. But a lot of times we don't make those decisions. We don't make those decisions and expect to or have a system for us to allow our investments, allow our stock portfolio to make that. So what I'm here today is I'm here to discuss, right? I'm here to discuss the stock repricing month. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about repricing. So before I go into more detail, I want you to like, subscribe, and share. Please like and subscribe and share. I'm trying to get my message out there. I believe that is valuable. Helping people get more of their finances and understand the opportunity that persists, that exists in the market, right? The market can change your life. I believe it. So I want you to like, subscribe, and share. Okay. All right. So the information provided, let me give you a disclaimer. The information provided in the First Fruit Stock Club podcast is for educational, informational purposes only and should not be considered financial, investment, tax, or legal advice. The views expressed by the host and the guests are of their own and do not reflect the opinion of any financial institution. I appreciate the like. Investing in stocks and other securities carries risk, including potential loss of principal. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always conduct your own research and consult with a licensed financial professional before making any investment decision. The First Fruit Stock Club and its affiliates do not guarantee any specific outcomes or returns. By listening to this podcast, you acknowledge that you are responsible for your own investment decisions. All right. So we have an opportunity right now. And like I said, the opportunity isn't perfect, but we have the opportunity if we have a strategy and a system to position ourselves, right? That 6 months to a year or when this market is over, man, we can achieve some of our dreams, right? I think what happens to us is that as we get older, right? And maybe we haven't reached any financial dreams in our lives. Maybe we think things are out of reach. We think that our job is all it is and what we make is all it is, right? We think that's it. And that's not true. Man, we have the greatest financial system in the world. There's no other economy that does $30 trillion in economic output or economic income, which is I consider what is called GDP. There's no other country in the world that does. We have the largest stock market in the world. We have the world reserve currency, right? But what happens is if you don't participate in the stock market, then you're not really participating in America, the financial system that's here for you and that's for everybody, right? Everybody can invest. Everybody can buy stocks, but only 40% of people own brokerage accounts. It's crazy. I don't understand it, but a lot of times we don't know, right? So I'm here to give the information out to you, to show you how valuable it is, and to help you reach your dream, achieve your dreams and outcomes that you want financially in your life. All right, so look, let's go into the market. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 47,417.27. Compared to last week, I always talk about the weeks. Compared to last week at 46,732.31. That was the low, but as you see, it's higher. But on a week-to-week basis, it's down 1,000 plus points. Right? The S&P 500, right, is the low from last week hit 6,652. It closed currently today at 6,775. So, it bounced off that low, and I'm going to discuss. I'm going to show you how it bounced off that low. Right? I'm going to show you how it bounced off that low and why it bounced off the low, and how we need to make adjustments for that. All right, the next one, the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq, which we all love, especially when it comes to options. 22,716.14, right? Which hit a low of 22,102.30. All right. And if we go down here, look at the bottom. If we look at the volume, we see how low the volume is. So you see the VOL, that's volume, right? So the volume is that is the volume of that of today, which is 6.85 billion shares. But the average volume is 8.6. So the volume is really low, right? Really low. And what that means is there's a lot of people aren't really trading stocks right now, right? A lot of people are sitting out. That consists of fear and everything else that's going on right now. All right. So look. So the SPY, right? The SPY is really the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is the benchmark that big hedge funds and big time mutual fund managers and managers this is what they use. So I want you to, if you're not familiar with the SPY, I want you to put the SPY in your phone to look at this and always look out for the levels of the SPY. So we see, if we look on here, the 52-week high is 697.84, right? 697.84. And the low, which it reached on March 6th, was 672.38. 672.38. So what's happening now? Now look, one good thing is that one good thing is that we're at the bottom of this range, right? We're kind of at the bottom of this range, but I want you to look at the little, there's like a little, it looks like a little flag all the way at the end. It's touching the number 677. That flag is called, well, it looks like a bull flag, right? And bull flags usually determines a reversal in the market, meaning the market may be headed up. I mean, it kind of makes sense because we're at the bottom of that range, but we have to be careful, right? Because we're also close to the bottom of 672.38. So when we're at the bottom, right? So there's a few things we could do. We can, buy, some long term, buy companies long term, or we can also put some options in if we get close to that bottom. But we have to watch out because that's close to that 5% mark. If we go below there, then we're going to have some problems. All right. So look, today I really want to get into I really want to kind of do a webinar form, and I want to discuss, man, how do you invest in a market like this? Like when the market, um, when the market is repricing itself, right? And I want to tell you that this is a financial opportunity. This is an opportunity for you to, man, if you're out 6 months from now, right, you can hit some of your goals, right? You can hit some of your goals. All right. So let's discuss why, right? Why? So you can buy great companies at discounted prices. As I said, great companies at discounted prices, and therefore fast track your way to financial freedom. We want to fast track our way to financial freedom. All right. So look, man, this is the time, right? You need to look at all your financial resources, right? Go through all the financial resources that you have, and you need to find money, right? It's tax time. Supposedly, because of the new tax bill, everybody's going to get large tax returns. You need to get money in the market and as much money in the market as you can bear. Okay. But I'm not going to say you put everything in totally. All right. But if you put it into your brokerage account and you look for opportunities, right? You look for opportunities, invest in opportunities. And I would say, if you're not part of a club, join the investment club, join a stock club, the first fruit stock club, I recommend, because there's strategies to enter into the market of how you should enter into this market, because this market is very dicey. We're going to be going up and down. I showed you from the SPY and how we're going to bounce back and forth. So it's good to have a strategy for that. Okay. All right. So look, go to the next one. So man, so this is the thing, right? This is the limiting belief that I don't have any money, right? Everybody's, well, everything is hard right now. And I get it. It's true. It's a true fact. Prices are up everywhere, right? But if you have a job, you have money, right? But you just have to have a strategy for your money before you get it, right? I'm gonna give you a strategy. Today is solution based, right? I'm gonna give you some solutions of how to get to the next level and how to hit your financial dreams of 2026. All right. So you need what's called regular, but you need what's called an investor's budget. Regular budgets do not work, right? Regular budgets do not work because, like I said, this is the greatest financial system in the world, and this system knows how to access your money, right? And it builds systems on systems. Think about it. When you buy a car, right? You're not just buying a car. Now you're buying maintenance. Now you have to buy new tires, right? Now you have to buy gas. Now you have to buy oil. You have to buy all these things, right? You have to buy all these things, and all these things come up, right? All these things come up, and what happens is that you thought you were paying one price, but then all these things, all these other prices, come into play. And not only that, though the cost of the maintenance and the insurance and the gas and all those different things, those prices go up, right? They go up over time. And what happens? You thought you were paying this, but you end up paying this, right? So this is why you need an investor's budget, right? And this is why first fruits, and this is the basis of the company and of the the club, and the basis of the strategy is the first fruits, right? You need to take the very first dollars that comes into your account, and they need to be put into a brokerage account. And I understand, like Donald, that's hard. I have all these bills. Soon as I get paid, I got to pay all these bills, and that's fine, right? And then maybe after I have whatever I have left over, maybe I'll use this to pay my things off, right? And or put the money. And what happens is things happen, right? Car needs repairs, house needs repairs. Just just today, we had to get a maintenance guy to come out here to our home, and a contractor come out to our home and repair. We had a leak in the ceiling, and he had to redo the grout in the shower, and $500, boom, like that, right? So what happens is that having a regular budget does not work because the system is designed that you will always be spending, right? You'll always spend. And no matter how much you try and you'll try hard, you're going to spend the majority of your money. So it doesn't work. So what is an investor's budget? An investor's budget is investing in your brokerage accounts becomes a line item. So you see how you have mobile phone, electricity, gas, and water? Well, you put brokerage account on the top of that, right? And you move everything else down, right? And you put brokerage account first. And you put the money there first, right? And then also, if you really want to be strategic, you're giving too. And giving becomes a part of that, right? Right? Because giving is also helps change your relationship with money, but it also helps you in regards to taxes, right? Because you're gonna taxes, you got to spend money in taxes, right? So it's a strategy. So when you create you create the first fruits budget, right? It allows you to move things down. And what you have to do, a lot of times people get hustles or side jobs or whatever just to have extra money. But the goal of extra jobs or whatever to make extra money is to put money into your brokerage account. And if you have a brokerage account, right, and you already have a brokerage account and you're not really using it, then it's not gonna perform. You just have an account. If you're not strategically putting money into the account as much as you can, as fast as you can, then you'll just have an account that's sitting there that's not really growing. Without a strategy, it's not really doing anything for you. And what I teach in the club is, man, how how to live out of your brokerage account, how to have extra money every month, right? That you can give to yourself, or you can continue to compound over time, right? Every month, right? So you can fight what I call the financial bullies of life, of inflation, taxes, and recession. Every 5 to 7 years, we have a recession. Will this oil problem take us into a recession? Right? Companies start, companies start, companies start cutting. I mean, companies have already started cutting jobs, right? So we have to position ourselves, and we have to put ourselves in position where we're able to sustain ourselves amongst inflation, taxes, and recessions, right? And I call them the financial bullies. And the problem is, you're a great person. You're a great person, but those things do not care. And what they do is they bully for generations, right? If your mom didn't tell you to how to invest, and it bullied your mom, and then it bullied it bullied your grandmother, and it bullied your mom, and it bully if you don't become an investor, right? So that's why it's important to become an investor. And if you are an investor, to take that brokerage account seriously and help you get to the next level that you want to financially. All right. And we'll talk about the different levels. So so this is a strategy I have in the club, right? This is a strategy, right? So um we have option strategies, right? So I put options in the club. We have dividends, right? Dividends are allow us, we create a dividend portfolio that pays us weekly and even monthly, right? Weekly. I say every week, right? And every week you can get paid every week in your portfolio, in your dividend portfolio, right? And if you structure right and find the right companies and funds, yes, you can. And with our dividends, right? We take our dividends and we put it in options, right? Because this is money that we're going to receive and we can take some risk money, right? And put it in options. But we're buying small options. I have options where, we purchase options $50 a contract, $100 a contract, $200 a contract, and you can build the option out. So when you're investing and I invest in long-term leaps, when you're investing in leaps, then all basically the amount that you buy, the amount you spend on the premium is the amount you have at risk. So if you only buy a $50 option, all you have at risk is $50. And you can always expand that and go to the next level, right? You can always expand that, right? Start with one contract and go to two, then go to three. And I like to build them out. So what I do is in the club, I list options that I'm buying right now, that I'm in plays that I'm in right now. And then I tell you when to exit those options. And then I also meet with you one-on-one to help you structure everything. And one of the most important parts of this investment strategy is the long-term investing. And this is what you should be using right now because the market is very undecisive, right? You don't know if it's going up and down, right? Now we can take bets, right? We take strategic bets, okay, during these down times, but we're also because companies are discounted, right? We also want to invest in these companies long term. Think about it. We have in our long term account, if we have a year's salary saved in our long term account, right? A year's salary saved just in case. All right. So, and then we just continue to build up the long term. So you got all three functions working together, right? You got the dividends that allow you to change your lifestyle, right? They allow you to continue where you can buy back your time as passive income, right? And I developed this strategy because I was in real estate, right? But the problem, and I love real estate, but the problem in real estate, you have a lot of expenses. You don't know if the tenants are going to pay you, right? And you got taxes. You got a whole lot of things that come amongst you to come against you, in regards to you receiving your money. So therefore, it becomes hard. But dividends are net, right? They're net. They come to you net. So whatever you make in dividends is yours. Excuse me. So whatever you make in dividends is yours. You get to keep it and spend it how you please, right? And then what happens is you get to build it out, right? And so you grow your dividends, you keep on growing them, they become larger. You take $100 and 100 turns into $500 a month. $500 a month turns into 1,000, right? 1,000 goes into 2,500. 25 turns into 5,000. 5,000 turns into seven, and seven turns into $10,000 a month. You can have $10,000 a month in dividends. Would that help you? Right? This isn't money that you have to go to work and working for. This is a money that what I do is I do E-Trade, and E-Trade deposits the dividend income into your account, right? And you'll just get one of the notifications. Money deposited into your account, right? And all you did is invest. All right, so you can create a whole lifestyle off the strategy. You can create a whole lifestyle off the strategy, right? And man, and that's why I'm here today, here to give you a proven strategy, the first fruits formula, where we use options, dividends, and long-term investing to hit our goals. And the problem is, man, we lose our dream, right? We stop dreaming. We don't believe financially that we can get to different levels. We don't believe we can achieve some of the goals we had. As kids, we used to dream, and what happens is life beats you up and you get bullied, and therefore you stop dreaming. What about vacation, going to some of the places that you wanted to travel to, right? What if you can just double your salary? right? Would that bring comfort in your household if you could double your salary? Paying bills, hey, look, maybe you stretched yourself out, but now look at an extra 1,000, 2,000, $3,000 a month in dividends and dividend income can really help you and your family, right? Accelerate debt payments, right? Having a few extra dollars where you can pay down your debts faster, all right? Shop with ease, buy some of the things you want and not be stressed out with everything you buy. And the cost of everything is definitely gone up. But what happens is your portfolio will go up too, right? And that's the whole thing. Your portfolio is there to fight the bully of inflation, right? Fight the bully of inflation. Man, get your time back. A lot of times, people are doing a lot of different things, a lot of different side hustles, and look, it's taking up your weekend or whatever, right? Dividends, you're not physically doing anything but pushing a button to buy. Think about it. You're not physically is true passive income. A lot of times you hear people say passive income. Oh, this is passive income, but you got to do a whole bunch of stuff to get there. And yes, you do have to earn the money. All right. But once you put the money in there, you just collect your dividends, right? And you build it out over time. Maybe that's the problem. It'll take you a little bit more time, but it allows you to do that. And then generational wealth, building a portfolio. And we're talking a brokerage account. I know a lot of times we think about a 401k, but a brokerage account, you can access a 401k. You got to go and ask your man, hey, I need to get money out there. And you got to look at the rules and they put in place. No, this is your money. You can access it. E-Trade will deposit the dividend income into your account every week. And if you want to spend it, you can. I say invest it and build the portfolio out. You can do that also. It's yours, but you need a strategy. You need somebody with you. So look, today, my goal is to promote the club to you. We're growing. We have more and more people joining. Um, you know, um, if you ever wanted to invest, right, and you like, look, I don't have a strategy. Let me just tell you what you get. Initially, what you get, and you get what's called a one-on-one with me, right? You get a one-on-one with me. We'll talk, discuss your goals. Um, I have some tools that'll show you how to have it create. There's apps and things that we use to help to show you how to hit your dividend goals, your income goals, monthly wise, right? We'll we'll meet and we'll set that for you, right? We'll get that set for you. We have a weekly meeting. We meet tomorrow, right? Some of the club members on here. So we meet tomorrow, right? And we meet and I'll go over the market and where I'm giving just an overview right now, I'll give specifics of what we're investing in the club. We meet every Thursday at 9 o'clock. And then if you can't join the club meetings, I'll be putting recordings in the meetings. And then I just put in updated a course in there, the First Fruit Stock Club course, where it teaches you the whole strategy. And I'm also might sell that outside of the club, you know. But if you join a club, it'll be free, So you have the course, you can go over the course, and also I help you um, hold your hand and help you do your first option trade, right? So, options aren't hard, but they are an art, right? And a science. They're both, right? And if you ever thought about trading options, man, this is your opportunity to get a one-on-one. So you get all that with the club, and then you can schedule. I have my calendar, and if you want to meet with me, if you have problems, whatever, we can talk it out. This is an active club, right? Where I am involved. I know some clubs, you get in people who aren't involved. I'm involved. I meet with people. We discuss goals. We discuss strategies personally and in the club as a group. Okay. So look, so I'm here today. So just join. If you guys have interest, you can just go to www.firstfruitstockclub.com. That's www.firstfruitstockclub.com. Man, thank you guys. It's always a pleasure. Um, it's always a pleasure. You give me a few moments of your time. I know there's tons and tons of things that you could be doing and watching online, but man, you investing in yourself. This show is showing you that you are willing to invest in yourself, invest in your future, and invest in the dreams that you have financially. And man, you could hit some of those dreams this year. Don't believe that, whatever the ideas you had came to you, or the vacation just came to you out of the blue, and that, it's just something you thought about. It's something that to get something put in front of you for you to achieve and think about it. But yes, you do need a vehicle, and a vehicle I love, and is a stock market. And if you think about some of the richest people in the world, I'm just not the only one person investing in a stock market. The majority of the wealth in this country, yes, is in real estate, but also in the stock market. Elon Musk didn't become a trillionaire because he sold a lot of cars. He became a trillionaire because he listed his company on the stock market. And as shareholders, if you decide, you can decide what companies we get an opportunity to participate in these companies and own and have ownership without having to work for these companies, without having to create the companies. We don't have to be the masterminds. All we have to do is take our first fruits and put them in the market. All right, this is today is was it March 11th? Man, and thank you guys. And until next time, I'm Donald Green, the founder of the First Fruit Stock Club. Stay fruitful. Bye-bye.
The market is volatile. The stocks keep going down. Then boom, we hit new highs. Everything is different now, but you don't gotta chase. Don't panic, don't stress. Time to realign, plan it out, invest. It's the First Fruits Podcast. We elevating with the First Fruits Podcast. No time for waiting, time to grow, give back, reinvest like that. Everything you need to know, the First Fruits Podcast. Let's go.
Petrovsky.